Yippee! I'm hoping that it doesn't ask me to do the tutorial again. I think it's going to. I'm going to hit whichever one is closest and just go. What game? This is SSX. It's kind of like if you took skateboarding, but you made it white, and instead of having Bam Margera, a man who beats his wife and then runs away from the police, you instead had people that you've never heard of, because there's no Tony Hawk of snowboarding. Don't bring up Shaun White. Shaun White doesn't count. Because Shaun White is just Tony Hawk but different. So it doesn't count. They really saw the fact that you could do infinites in SSX3 and went, fuck it, just keep doing it. Who gives a shit? Shaun White, no game audio. I think there is there not? Hold on a minute. I'm not calling you a liar, I'm just saying, like, oh, it's coming through on my end. I don't know why it's not coming through on yours. Okay, 1 second. Carl onto Rails. Okay, sick with it. How about now? Obviously, not literally now. There's nothing happening now. How about now? Is it at least quiet in doing it? You want to grind a sharp edge like trees or a ridge by holding LT. What do you mean by holding LT? Oh, so it's like a choice as to whether or not I want to. That's pretty cool. Let go of left stick and any buttons as you approach the ground to land safely. No shit. Rewind by holding. Jesus Christ. This game has very stop-start tutorializing, which I kind of respect in a certain way because it assumes that the player is stupid, which absolutely I am. But what if I was like a smart boy and I was playing this shit? Wouldn't I feel so insulted? Europe dubstep, we love that. We do love it. If you're wondering where I've been over the last couple of days, because I haven't been streaming for 3 days, I know. A ridiculous proposition for someone who hadn't streamed for several months straight to apologize for not streaming for 3 days. However, I should mention I was away doing stuff. And by doing stuff, I mean stuff I cannot talk about because it isn't mine. Also, do I now score no points or do I just lose the multiplier? I'm assuming that I just lose the multiplier. It's really weird that they decided to go for like B and X as your like manual buttons. Peculiar. Drop the bass, Leon. Bangarang. Can we all kind of stop lying to ourselves for a couple of seconds? Skrillex was okay. Skrillex, I'm gonna go even further. I'll say Skrillex was pretty good. Bangarang was actually kind of fire. And I'm not saying this because it's like, oh, it was my childhood. It's like, go back and listen to Bangarang right now. You'll go, fuck, this goes kind of hard. You know who doesn't? And I'm not saying this because like, oh, you know, popular guy who is still popular equals bad. But deadmau5 has kind of always been a bit ass. deadmau5 has always made really boring, just boring electronic music. It's not hypnotic. It's not like, who's that fucking guy? There is a producer from the 90s in England who made really hypnotic and sometimes dog shit electronic music. I can't remember who it is. Skrillex is really good. He was really influential in the 2010s and even now. That's what I'm saying. Oh, but we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that because the kids who were mean to me in school, they liked Skrillex. Fuck you. You were the kids that were mean to you in school. The kids in school didn't even know who you were. Didn't they put a Skrillex clone into Watch Dogs' Aphex Twin? Are you calling Aphex Twin a Skrillex clone? Do you understand the concept of genres? And also, I'm not going to say that that's undeserved shade at Aphex Twin because unlike most people on the internet, I'm not going to argue a point that I don't know anything about. I've never listened to Aphex Twin's music. But I feel like I'm getting the vibe that you're wrong. Me, a man who hasn't done any research, but it still wants to be correct. The vibes are off, actually. My horoscope today said that you were wrong. And so I simply will not Google or investigate what you said. I will merely take it as fact. My girlfriend loves Aphex Twin, so if I don't say I love it too, I get sent to the couch for the night. I mean, BZ Parker, you're chatting in Twitch chat. You don't have to lie. I'm fucking with you. Maybe. I don't know. I would at least put like £2 on the possibility that you are LARPing. But also, you know, I don't think the stream is big enough for you to be LARPing. I'm just saying that statistically speaking, there is probably a chance. I vaguely remember deadmau5 as an influential figure. I can't entirely tell you why. He's one of those people that were kind of like the Kardashians, where you kind of don't know why they're famous, excluding the fact that they're famous. Obviously, Kim Kardashian, you know, because of, you know, being with Kanye. But excluding that, no idea. Off topic, I know it's kind of late, but I imagine that you didn't like Tekken 8. I didn't initially. I think now that Tekken 8 has kind of come and gone a little bit more, I just have to accept that it's fine. But also, I don't think I would have ever liked a more aggressive Tekken. Let me the fuck down. I think that in my head, Tekken is a defensive game, and so the moment that they were like, oh, this one's more aggressively focused, I immediately went, I don't know about this. It's a bit take it or leave it. I won't play it enough to play ranked anymore, but I will play it enough to download it again if Ed wants to play games, you know, that kind of thing. Tekken 8 isn't my thing, but it's funny seeing the fuck you man back in the game. I just can't believe that they brought Heihachi back. I simultaneously respect it and also find it incredibly frustrating. Because, like, it kind of shows me that it's like, oh, the Tekken team got no balls when it comes to killing off characters. That's kind of uninteresting. But also, it does let me guiltily have my Funko Pop game where I go like, holy fuck, that's my old man. I love that old man. Why do I love that old man? Because that's my comfort character. They should have made Tekken 7 2. They should have made Tekken 7 Season 2. Its own video game. Can I get a true in the chat? Any truers in the chat? I'm getting the vibe, and this is very early, but I'm getting the vibe that this game is a lot of flash, really fun, but also, like, no substance. Because I'm autopiloting my goddamn head off, and unless it starts to get really hard later into the game, I can't see where this is going to get, like, interesting, you know? Except Kunimitsu, she's never coming back. True? I'll give you a true. This game was fun when I was 12. You've said that, and for some reason, all the pieces in my brain just kind of, like, clicked. And I am aware that this is 10 minutes into a game that I've never played before, but I have a strong feeling that this game is a lot like Skate, where, technically speaking, the objective is really plain and boring and dull, but it's more about how you feel on the inside. Why do they have, like, levels and armor drops? What the fuck? Oh, whatever. Thank you for the gear up. I appreciate it. I only have 600 bucks. Gear up. Yippee! It's just like Borderlands, guys. Wow. Past the board wax. Did anyone, when they were, like, younger and they were skating, did anyone actually end up buying wax and trying to use it? I remember as a young little skater boy that I would constantly buy wax. But the problem was, I couldn't use the wax. Like, not in that I literally couldn't use the wax. Obviously, I can put wax on a ledge. I mean more, because the concept of the wax is to make the surface that you're riding on slippier. With the very specific intent that you're going to grind it. Because it allows the board to glide more smoothly. The thing is, I was 12. I could do a pop shove it at most. And so I would wax rails for myself, only to then do pop shove-its near it. It wasn't so much that I was LARPing, it was that I'm, like, doing what I currently do with fighting games, where I just make the assumption that I'm better than I am, and go, I hope nobody notices because I bought the right thing. Me buying new buttons for my fight stick, trying to do the same combo over and over again that I've been doing for the last 7 years with them. I got a skateboard recently, holy! The character development from 1 week ago being in the Dark Souls chat going, I wish I had a skateboard, to actually having a skateboard. I know that this is actually an improvement, but my brain can't get over the SSX3 and the SSX tricky mentality of holding A and then a direction to wind a jump up without actually going anywhere. Because in this game, if you hold A and then you hold left, as though you're going to twist left, you will immediately start turning left, and it's fucking with me. Which is, of course, a problem, because I'm right and the game is wrong. I've already injured my toe trying to skate, yep. Just you wait until you try and do a kick. This is a universal experience, by the way, in terms of skateboarding. Beyond a certain point, you will try to kickflip. And let me give you the play-by-play on how it's going to happen. You're going to try and kickflip. You're going to get too scared to land it, and you're going to make it worse for yourself. Somehow, when you go to flip the board, you are going to have it become vertical, and it will stand up, hit the bottom of the board, and then the top of your board will go directly into your groin region. And in that moment, you will think that your life is kind of ending. It's the closest that you'll come to like a life and death experience. You know all the people that they like come out of surgery and they're like, holy shit, I was dead, I saw Jesus. You don't need to go into surgery to see just a little bit of... You can try skateboarding at the age of 12 and it will work. So be excited for that. I would say, based on my own experience, pick your religion early, because if you don't pick a religion now, you kind of don't see a lot. You just kind of see purgatory, and for as much as that's still an experience, it could be better, you know? Commit to tricks. It is actually, like, I mean this sincerely, if you're going to start skating and you're going to start trying to do tricks, you either need to learn how to bail or learn how to commit to doing tricks incredibly, incredibly early. Preferably the second one, because you put yourself at much greater risk by bailing but not knowing how to bail. It's how like people break shit. They will fall, not know if they should commit to it, or attempt to just like kick out, and then straight away it's like, oh, I'm falling, but I'm also falling on my arm instead of rolling, and it's no fun. Not to try and scare you out of skateboarding, but you know, both me and my boyfriend got a skateboard so that we can skate together. Now that's actually the GOAT idea. Much like a fighting game, skateboarding gets much easier if you have someone to do it with. Me believing in reincarnation and getting hit with getting hit in the groin so that I can see a deer. That'd be fucking epic. Imagine that, you get hit in the nuts, you have like a brief reincarnation where you can like feel the air underneath your wings, and then you come back to reality. Holy shit. Boris, he's the reason that I can't move to France, or Belgium, or Portugal. It's a Brexit joke. I don't even think... Is Boris the... No, not really. It's more a coordinated effort between multiple right-wing parties. Anyway, whatever. Good topical humor. Anyway, how about that Liz Truss, am I right? I've been really wanting to get into flatland BMX, but it's tough because bikes are expensive. It's true, it's true. I find that, like, as I get older as well, like, the prospect of getting into a new extreme sport, like one that I don't already know, it, like, the feasibility of it becomes further and further away because I just seem to be more and more prone to injury. And, like, when you're... I don't know, when you're like 14, you can break your arm and you're like, that's fucking bussing. Reason being is that now I like don't have to go to school, and then when I do go to school, like Becky is gonna be like, oh my god, what happened? And you get to be like, oh my god, I'm talking to Becky. But now at the age of 28, playing video games in my bedroom, I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to do work. I'm gonna be like poorer by like 2 weeks. All because what? The kickflip went a little bit funny, my ankle fell 2 inches in the wrong direction, and suddenly the concussion has me forgetting my child's first name. The only extreme sport that I engage with is running through the city like a crackhead. Well, I have bad news for you. That's not an extreme sport. That's just being alive. Unless, well, actually, it depends on what city you live in, I guess. I will say, I feel like I'm not doing a lot. A lot is happening, but I don't feel... like, me as a person am involved a lot in it. I fractured my arm riding a scooter once when I was like 12. Thankfully, I'm kind of like the guy from Invincible in the idea that I am invincible. Wasn't there a sequel to this on the PS2? I have bad news about how time works, but you are technically correct. If you ask ChatGPT, I'm sure you could convince them somehow the SSX Tricky is like a sequel to SSX 2012. I fractured my arm twice and my leg once as a kid. I wish I had done it in a cool way. You don't wish that you had like, not done it at all. Okay, the moment that I heard I Can't Stop, my opinion has changed on the soundtrack. I think it's dog shit. Although there is a very solid chance that this was a remix, and so maybe my thoughts will change. You'll never be able to tell. I need to restart because it seems like immediately they went, you should finish your combos. Insane aura loss by the OST. OST gave me the ick, question mark. I think it's really, okay, I don't think it's weird, but I think it's a little unusual that they decide to put the riders on the mountain with you because you're not really like racing against them. And so I don't need them to be there. All them being there does is give me the false idea that like, oh, I should be like faster. And it's like, that's not true. That's not how this mode works. Have I played Shredders before? I don't even know what that is. I will have to play a bunch of, a ton of snowboarding games before making the SSX video. Because unlike Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, there was actually, like, at least 10 snowboarding games prior to SSX. And so I kind of have to, like, go through the backlog and be like, what games did, SSX take inspiration from? I like that effect, the idea that, like, you land so big that, the earth, like, shakes around you. That's pretty cool. I can't believe this Xbox is working. It's, like, the faultiest hardware of all time. This is an OG Xbox. And somehow it hasn't red-ringed, overheated, filled with dust. Simply, like, leaked all of its oils. Man who doesn't know how consoles work. Not blown up. I know, it's crazy. The least useful IED, the Xbox 360. I'm sure there's like a military channel that could turn that into like a real video. Sometimes the Xbox 360 just lasts forever. My OG Xbox still works perfectly fine. The other day I was playing Halo 3 with someone who definitely thinks that the Xbox is going forever. This was a person that didn't know that like other consoles existed. We're playing big team battles. The 8v8 mode that is effectively like Halo Mario Party, because shit's just happening all the time. You can't keep focused with anything. He's in the all chat, micing away, and he's there going, what the fuck are you doing? Why can't you drive? Do you think this is a game? And it's like, brother, Halo 3, not only is it literally a game, but it's like, this isn't even a game that's taken seriously anymore. The people that are playing this are like 35. They have children. What the hell are you doing? It's sad that a lot of people forgot how to play multiplayer shooters casually. Okay, well, I'm not sure forgot is the right word. Well, okay, I think that, like, that's kind of true. At the same time, though, the design, like, okay, if we're talking Valorant or Counter-Strike, they've made, like, pushes towards, like, constant competitive play. And so I think it makes a little bit more sense that people are sweatier, more annoying, more quick to become the most insufferable person that you've ever met. My issue is, like, if you're still playing Halo 3, surely you have to, like, come to terms with the fact that game battles ended years ago. Like, not only is your game of zero attention, but also your game came out at a time when MLG was, like, a side thing. You were competing for, like, $20 and a fucking Big Mac. Why are you so pressed over basic, well, not basic, but, like, just intermittent gameplay? It just strikes me as a bit odd that people are just willing to get so vexed over something that, for all intents and purposes, doesn't matter. Paladins is so funny. I will never forgive Blizzard for making Overwatch a competitive hellscape. I don't know if it was Blizzard or not, but, like, absolutely their changes to, like, the formatting didn't help. I mean, okay, let's be completely honest. There's a lot more that I'm not going to be forgiving Blizzard for. Stuff that some might argue is more important than something as minor as a video game that was silly and fun turned into something that was serious and annoying. Or seriously annoying, depending on how you're looking at it. Overwatch feels like it was built to be a silly fun time experience that was kind of almost like Lilo and Stitch adjacent. You know? It's a Disney film, it's for the kids. You go to the park afterwards in Overwatch World 10 years down the line, and you buy a fucking Winston plushie backpack and whatever, and you go, whoa, I get to share this with my kids in 10 years time. And instead it somehow became modern Disney, where, yeah, it's made for the kids, but it's being dominated by a bunch of 20-year-olds that are taking it far too seriously. Oh, that's not Mickey Mouse, that's Minnie Mouse, actually, and it's the Minnie Mouse from Fuck Off. I don't care what kind of version of Winston is on the screen. And more importantly, I don't care if I'm playing that version of Winston correctly. Fuck you. Go, my toys. I'm already Tracy. Exactly. We should have had generations of children doing cringe TikTok dances to Overwatch song parodies. And instead, we got people wishing that they were in the Overwatch League. Do we all see where it all went wrong? I hope we do. And if we don't, then God save us all. Amen or whatever. Playing Overwatch today feels like knocking your head against a wall. I'll give you that. The thing that really makes me feel like I'm, like, bashing my head against the wall is, like, going on YouTube lately. The more that I go on YouTube, the more that, I start to believe that I'm contributing to, like, a moral ill. Because at the moment, it's kind of dominated with, like, talking heads. Like, talking heads content is incredibly popular, and then every time you click on a video, you're getting an ad for, like, a service that feels like... It feels like all of the ads on YouTube at the moment are services for people that don't exist. I don't know about anyone else, but every single day for the last month, I've been given A, I just dropped my controller, B, a productivity advertisement. It's like an ad for a website that makes your schedule for you, even though you have to make your schedule inherently by going to the website. So it doesn't make any fucking sense. Or two, it's AI generate your website. How many fucking people... I'm an avid YouTube user, and so I get served probably like 50 ads a day. How many people are in desperate need of their own website and their own AI-generated website that you can just shovel cash into people that don't exist? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't need an ad for me, whose portfolio primarily comprises of working at McDonald's and working at Pets at Home. The only thing I have on my resume is, hi, can I take your order? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I need a website for that? It just doesn't make any sense. You know when, like, Wagamama's, for example, is like, hey, do you have, like, your own personal website? It's like, brother, who the fuck cares? I'm sat here applying for a job in which I'm going to be saying, hello, can I take your order? Regardless of whether we're selling, like, Japanese food or, I don't know, like, Indian food. We're not suddenly like, hey, can I take your order? And also, can I do a self-portrait for you? It's not a job that needs a website. And yet, for some reason, YouTube is insistent that I need a website. Either that, or much like the rest of the AI death of the internet, it's all just advertisements for no one in the vain idea, or in the vague idea, that it's someone's going to need it because ChatGPT told me that they would. Going onto YouTube nowadays reminds me to play interesting games or go outside. I mean this sincerely. I actually had this experience 2 days ago. I was on YouTube, and I think my recommended was like 7 Clint Stevens videos, 4 Atrioc videos, and then like 7 other Talking Heads videos. I looked at the suggested, and I just went, none of this is anything. It's not anything to me, it's not anything to the person who made it. I should just turn the computer off. And I did. I sat down and I read a book. An hour later, I was like, I need YouTube again. YouTube has genuinely, like, poisoned one of my internal organs at the very least, because I cannot go an hour without being like, I need the internet again. I need the internet again. Something. Just let me scroll, get that vertical feed going. Show me new images. I don't even need to click on the videos. New images, new titles. I beg of you. Bring me the poison. Please. I low-key be rewatching my favorite video essays over and over again. That's me with Steak Bentley. I go through, like, I think there is a good chance that at least a month of every single year is taken up with just like rewatching Steak Bentley videos over and over and over again. I fucking love Steak Bentley videos. Fuck me. That right there is a man who is still living with like the joy of humanity in his soul. He might have interacted with ChatGPT, but like he didn't let it poison him. I don't know if I'm envious of that or not, though, to be fair, because it also seems like the more pure your soul, surely the harder every day gets, because you're just surrounded by poison. Me when I'm in Blighttown in Dark Souls. Ugh. Sorry, what happened there was I said Dark Souls and I remembered Four Kings and I briefly started crying. What you should remember is the Riddler. Shut up. Me going outside and having... I don't know where to take this bit. The synopsis of the bit was going to be somehow a stranger asks me a riddle and I turn around and I go, oh, are you like a viewer? Is this like a bit of the stream? But in reality, they're just like a guy who loves to tell strangers riddles. But then I thought about it for a single second, but I went, that's not how you would respond. If a stranger came up to me and asked me a riddle, I would go, and get really nervous and probably not make eye contact all the time. The Riddler that you run into going to Walmart. I don't think we have Walmart over here. Also, I don't think we have Riddlers over here. That might be like a French thing. 5 Kings when I get there? Come on. There are no Walmarts in Gotham. There's no Walmarts at all. Not real. Fuck ice. Man who hates Antarctica be like. Is that anything? Is that anything, chat? Dude, the game said press LT to carve ridges in the snow. It's not giving me anything. ±2. It actually... Okay, I do not understand how the mechanic works. Why did it work there? Maybe it's my controller, actually. I have just clocked that this is also like an ancient controller from the depths of Pandora's box. And I'm now quickly realizing, like, hey, maybe this is like a skill issue. The game is hinting you to play SSX3. I've already played SSX3. I do love SSX3, though. I think SSX3. Wait, so is the goal just make it down the mountain? I think it is. In that case, I don't actually need to pay that much attention, because you just, like, follow one ridge, surely. Man who is clueless be like... What? What was that? Oh, we restart again. Call this a Clint Stevens stream, the way that we hit reset over and over. Are you still going to put the green question mark in the back of my stream? Well, I don't get to choose when that happens. That's the Riddler. The Riddler chooses when that happens. For real, on God. Oh wait, I actually remember playing this level when I was younger and this shit sucked. Well, hopefully it was a skill issue, because oh my God. The slope, it's slippery, just like my politics. Whoa. You're playing Tricky now and you've heard that 3 is better. I think 3 is better personally, but 3 and Tricky are pretty different games, to be honest. One of them is more like a racing game with snowboards. The other one is more like if Tony Hawk was all downhill jam, and also it was way too easy to abuse the combo system, but it's still really fun, and so I think you'll still probably have a good time. It's weird to think that this game was, or like this series, kind of looked at, what game was it? 1080 snowboarding and going, let's just do that again. And then after looking at 1080 snowboarding and going, oh, that was alright, but what else can we do? They went, how about Tony Hawk? And they went, yeah, sure, fucking I guess. It's a game that is very much of its time and yet completely lacking in identity if you go back and look at all of the things that it was influenced by. And again, that's not to say that, like, oh, SSX is actually kind of ass. This isn't like how I feel about Spyro. Spyro actually is kind of ass, but SSX is kind of like it is the biggest, fattest of the phonies. Oh my God, please let me up. Okay, fair enough. I saw some gameplay of 3. It does seem faster paced overall. It is. So I went out today with the very specific intent of learning, of educating myself, of 10xing my mindset, if you will. So I've made a bet with a mate that I can learn enough French to get around France by Evo Lyon. And I'll be completely honest, even now, I think that that's a perfectly viable goal, mainly because I would imagine that a lot of people speak English anyway. That's just kind of how it is speaking English. It's like, I got my cheat code. for exploring the world effectively. But it would still be a good idea to learn some French just in case. And so I went out today with the very specific intent of figuring out what it is that actually happens in a conversation in a shop. Because I can sit here all I like and just kind of assume that I know what happens. It's like, oh, is that everything? Like, do you have a membership card? Do you need a bag? That's the whole conversation 99% of the time, if I play it off in my head. But also, like, if I'm struggling to make eye contact, chances are I'm forgetting the conversational flowchart in the grocery store in the first place. And so I went out specifically to just be like, alright, what do I actually say? First shop that I go to is Morrison's. Straight away, self-checkout. I'm like, I can't be fucked to deal with this shit. Next shop is Greg's. They didn't say a word to me. I just said, can I get like a vegetable bake? They nodded at me. So the first two shops somehow have managed to go from, I need to be prepared for, hello, how are you doing? Can I get this? Can I get a bag membership card? To nothing. The second shop, also nothing. The third shop, a McDonald's, also nothing. I went up to the counter to talk to like a colleague and be like, hey, can I get like a wrap of the day? Nobody showed up. I was there for like 5 minutes and I went, well, fuck this, because I'm hungry now. And so I went and I immediately got a wrap of the day from the kiosk. I found out that England is a dead country because we've managed to take what was the holy grail of the £1.99 wrap of the day and turn it into the £2.29 wrap of the day. A sign of the times, if you will. But they also didn't have the time, reasonably, as someone who has worked behind the counter before, they didn't have the time to, like, be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing at the counter? Fucking go and order at the kiosk. And so, somehow, even though the mission today was effectively go out and say a grand total of 4 words, couldn't even do that. And not even because I'm the one being the problem now. It's like, oh, shit. I live in the only English town to have, like, an actual, car culture like America. And with that, I'm being inhibited from learning another language. Culture is being taken away from me, question mark? Thank you for the achievement. Can I get an I'm alive in chat? Un bag? Oui? I don't know. See, Kip, this is the problem. You need to remember that not only in French, in like French culture, is it more customary to be like, hey, you're working behind the counter, but how are you doing today? Etc, etc. You also wouldn't be asking for a bag. You would be asking for a baguette at the very least. Just a little bit of casual European, just a bit of European banter. Wee. They all like baguettes, don't they? Because they're from France. Wee, 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 cigarette. Anyway, I need to get this all out of my system before I go to France, just in case they like shoot me in the streets. Oh my fucking god. Is it the trigger? It's gotta be the trigger. They don't do public executions anymore, so at most you'll get laughed at. Gotta bring back public capital punishment. I don't think we do have to do that. I don't know if I agree with that. I think you better type in Minecraft before Jeff Bezos himself looks at your chat history and goes, hold on a minute. This guy's way off the rails. It is peculiar how few people in England, and I mean like English people in England, before we go anywhere. It is peculiar how many English people in England only speak English. Because it's not like, this isn't like America where it's like if you're in middle America, you have to take like a flight that is the distance from England to Bulgaria to go into Quebec even. It's like, no, if you go 100 miles south in most of England, you will end up in France. And so, you realistically should probably learn a little bit of French, just in case. And yet somehow England, blessed be the land that it is, managed to be ignorant for so many years that the entire world just went, fucking let's just catch up to them. Because these lazy fuckers are never gonna catch up to us. I'm not sure if this is just because I'm playing it through OBS, but like, this does feel like shit. It feels very heavy and yet slippery at the same time. Oh my god. Some good old input delay. This is the thing, I can't tell. I don't think that it's input delay. Because, when I'm playing anything else, like through the OBS window, sure, it doesn't feel like one-to-one, but it feels okay. This feels like really sticky. it looks like an experience. I mean, it looks like I'm ass, which in fairness, like, we've all seen the way that I play Guilty Gear. It's possible. But this feels unusually sticky. Yup. What was that? Starting to feel like I might not like SSX 2012. I'm starting to get the vibe that maybe SSX 2012 is not the SSX 3 that I was hoping it would be. But then again, maybe it is a skill issue. Like, you know, I'm trying to be positive. I don't just want to judge an EA product by the fact that it's a 2012's EA product. You know, I want to give it its fair shakedown. What the fuck do you mean? I was pressing LT, I was pressing the trigger, and it didn't snap me to the rail. Just speaking of EA, who's ready for 10 bulbzillion players? Dude. I understand that, like, EA is kind of like the fucking Darth Vader of video games, in that everybody knows their name, nobody really likes them, and yet everyone still kind of interacts with them in a certain way. Myself included. I'm fucking with Skate 3 or whatever the fuck it's called. But 100 million Battlefield 6 players is... I just don't understand how anyone can assume that there's even 100 million people, like, near your product. Because I think they're getting that number, if I read correctly, they're getting that number from Warzone's, like, player numbers. But here's the thing. Why the fuck would all the Warzone players stop playing Warzone? Like, surely they just keep playing Warzone, you know? It doesn't make any sense. This game looks nearly impossible to control at times. I think that is the point of the ice levels, to be fair. You know, it's ice. It's supposed to be slippery. I think the rest of the game is controlled pretty good so far. It's just that one area in particular kind of felt like shit. Okay, so go into this and then hit the wingsuit. This bitch is Mario 64! Holy fuck, it's Mario Monday! Quick, I'm gonna do a BLJ down the mountain. I think I am getting, like, Mario fever again. And I can't tell if this is, like, a sign that I am, you know, Leon Massey, a man who grew up playing Nintendo Scrimblow Bimblow shit, or Mario 64 is, like, the greatest game of all time, and I'm afraid to say it because Nintendo has fucked over Melee so hard that I'm unwilling to give them any credit. But, like, I get addicted to Mario 64 once a year, like, every week. Just doing, like, 16-star runs. And now I'm like, fuck. What if I learn 70-star? Oh, dear. There's so much Mario 64 still to play. It's just like Guilty Gear. Oh, there's so much more Guilty Gear to play? True. Do you reckon if you'd grown up with the, am I landing here? I am. Do you reckon if you'd grown up with, like, the Atari 2600, you would still think video games are fucking anything? Because I was thinking immediately after seeing EA, immediately, like, shit their diaper with their expectations of Battlefield 6. I was thinking of doing a video on the market crash in 1983, but then I realized in order to do that and get, like, background footage for it, I would have to play, like, a bunch of Atari 2600 games. And I don't know if you've ever gone to play the Atari 2600. I don't know if you've ever gone back to play the NES. The NES is kind of a dog shit console. It's got 2 games that are good on it. It's got Mario 3, and it's got Castlevania 1. I will give you Castlevania 3. I will concede and say I haven't played Castlevania 3, and I've heard that it's fucking pretty good. I'm dead. Okay. Dragster and Pitfall are still fun. You're wrong, though. You're just wrong. I'm not taking that. Shroomius? Not having that. It's a console that is almost entirely, like, trapped with the capability hardware-wise to do, like, fucking video game advertisement level mini-games. You know, on, like, a YouTube advertisement. Stop doing that. Oh, give me the wingsuit! Yup. Okay, well, that hurt. Let me recover. Okay, fair enough. Not even Metroid. Metroid 1 is ass. Super Metroid, I will give you that. Super Metroid goes fucking crazy. Metroid 1 is dog shit. Not because it's, like, the worst thing that you can play ever, but because it is pretty much incomprehensible in terms of visuals. It's hard to remember where you're going, and it's hard to remember where you even are. Every room is indistinct from one another, purely on the basis of the visual limitation of the system. Yippee! Okay. I'm in. You know what? I like this wing catch shit. It truly is like when Mario grew wings, and every single human being, and I know it might sound like an exaggeration saying every single human being, but it was every human being, in like 1997 when Mario, he's an Italian man, he shouldn't have wings. And then they played it for more than 4 seconds and they went, you know what? The Italian man was meant to have wings the whole time. The snowboarder was meant to have wings. I'll give it to them. Excite Bike? Okay, I will concede on Excite Bike as well. Excite Bike is mildly acceptable. But only mildly, I won't give you any more than mildly. Have we reached the point where we can all acknowledge that for as much as it is a meme, bisexual lighting actually looks pretty good? You know what I'm talking about with the like kind of purple and orange and red lighting. It kind of looks pretty good. It's pleasant. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It does look good. Okay, thank you. I'm glad that we're all adults here. Obviously, I'm not saying like remove all color from your scene that isn't blue and purple or whatever the fuck, but like it still goes foolish. Glad somebody gets it. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm the least parasocial streamer. You're just like me, chat. Wow, we're best friends in real life. A pleasant gradient shows up at your doorstep. What do? I go, hey, can I like take a photo for reference? I'm gonna use this in a YouTube video about shit that you just don't care about in 4 years' time. This game feels really repetitive. And I understand that this is like SSX, so there's not a huge amount that you can do with it, but it's like, I don't know, it feels like you're kind of not doing a lot the whole time you're playing it. It's the Dark Souls 3 of Dark Souls, if you will. I don't know what I mean by it's the Dark Souls 3 of Dark Souls. Surely that would just be Dark Souls 3. But, you know what I'm trying to say, maybe. You have reset the same stage 30 times, to be fair. I did that with the ice level. I don't think I've done that with this level. I think I've done this 7 times, I would say. I do think that, like, there is a video essay in waiting that would actually be kind of good. That is just answering the very, like, menial question of why does he call Bowser gay? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Because I understand that, like, maybe he's saying so long, Bowser, but just, like, putting a bit of emphasis on the wrong syllable. But it still doesn't line up, you know? If it's under 37 minutes, I'm not clicking on it. Oh, God. There's no way anyone thinks he's actually gay Bowser. Would you have a problem if he was gay Bowser? Bit of an L message in the chat. Me accusing the first-time chatter of homophobia. Oh, fuck. No. Oh. Dyslexic streamer calls first-time chatter homophobic. I don't think I'm actually dyslexic. I think I just kind of can't read and, like, speak at the same time. I don't think that's dyslexia. I think that's just, like, being not necessarily stupid, maybe just, like, having a bit of, like, I don't know how to describe it other than, like, an L ratio. I haven't been brain poisoned. I just don't have a developed sense of speech. They are not the same thing. Get it right, chatter. It's crazy that they made 64 Mario games. How many Mario games are there now? There's got to be, like, at least 25. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm feeling this. Like, every time I, like, hit the board and start going down the mountain, I am perpetually going like, oh, I wish I was playing SSX 3 right now. I wish I was playing SSX, Tricky right now. This isn't doing it for me. Like, to the point where I'm thinking, I kind of want to play Guilty Gear, you know? Which is a little bit ridiculous, because, like, you could play Guilty Gear whenever you like. Your Xbox might blow up in, like, the next 10 seconds. Truly an ungrateful streamer. I am forever stuck in this era of indie music. Me when I'm listening to... Come on, think of anyone. Weezer? Fuck, no. Shit. Me when I'm thinking of Skrillex? Fuck, no, wrong answer. Shit. Me, a man who's treating every conversation like it's a It's a fucking game show. Tame Impala. No, not Tame Impala. Can I be honest? I actually don't... The more that I was thinking about your sentence, I was like, I actually don't know what defines indie music. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, Mac DeMarco. But like, I don't think Mac DeMarco would be considered indie music. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I have to restart. Indie music doesn't mean anything, that's fair. I am trying to not enter the crevice, if you were curious. The game simply implored me into the hole. I don't yearn for the crevice, don't say that. That sounds awful. I wish I was implored into a hole. No. Oh. Wrong hole as well, it's H-O-L-E. Hole is when something is like I ate a whole apple. Your hole is H-O-L-E hole. Oh god. Give me the fucking wingsuit, Mario! Miyamoto is staring down at me, disappointed. He's looking at me from heaven, shaking his head. Him and Iwata. Also, don't ask me how I know that Miyamoto is dead. At least like 4 of you have just googled like, what? Miyamoto's dead? What the fuck? It's like the Queen. It's like, whoa, hold on a minute. You got the wrong dev. No, I didn't get the wrong one. I definitely didn't get the wrong one. Leon is leaking news. Whoa! Guy who really hates Melee pogging up at the idea that a Japanese man that didn't even work on the game is dead. Someone clip it and send it to r/gaming rumors. I'm sure that you get like the most interesting people on the planet on r/gaming rumors. I'm spreading spoilers for the 8 o'clock news. Here's another spoiler. I'm doing this run, and then we're switching to, like, Guilty Gear for at least, like, an hour. This is... I don't know if it's just because I'm streaming it as the first time that I'm playing it, but I'm having a miserable time with this. This is... I was hoping that I would have a lot of fun here. I'm not fucking with it, I'll be honest. But there are a lot of things that might be contributing to that. It might be, like... oh, first time that you're playing it and you're playing it on stream. Controller might be a little bit fucked up. It's a hot day outside, sun glare, etc, etc. Gaming news. Leon will be the next Toad in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Guilty Gearless Leon be like, don't talk to me until I've had my YRC. Fuck you. Don't talk to me until I've had my Stinger YRC. I go into Stinger Bucks and they ask me how I would like my YRC. And I say, can I get YRC, Stun Dipper? I don't know. What's the Kai projectile that fucking goes skadoodle, you now control the neutral? Stun Edge, there we go. Let's find out. Let's see what Stun Edge is all about. This, I think I will need to at least put some time into it off stream because I'm not fucking with it. Back to Guilty Gear with us. Edging until I'm stunned or whatever. Okay. Let's chill out. Turn my Xbox off. That's what the Kendrick line is, right? Anyway. Get it, chat? It's Kendrick. You like Kendrick, right? Say Xbox. Happy Easter, Xbox. Xbox, turn off. Xbox, reveal this man's location. Xbox, call a false claim on this man's place of residence, implying that he has someone there who is a hostage. Xbox, release the date of death for Miyamoto. Xbox, fire 9,000 people. Now you're the streamer. So topical, so natural and relevant. We love that. Woo, Xrd, we love that. Woo. Online, get yourself online. Xbox, go into the player lobby. Xbox, hit search. Dude, I need to lose some weight. Holy shit. I was just like drumming along on my own tummy to the Guilty Gear like back soundtrack as Xbox consult AI to make me feel better about being fired. Xbox, give me sales predictions for Battlefield 6. Xbox, show me 6p. You say Xbox drop that man's combo. That's just the lag goblins inside of Punk's stick. Like, they're always there. Xbox, kick the router. You should red ring yourself now. No! My wonderful Xbox, my baby Xbox. Oh shit, I'm mashing on wake up. Could you imagine if I read the message Xbox explode and then my Xbox actually just went bang? I understand that you probably can't as like a viewer, but I definitely can as a person with an on the fritz Xbox. Xbox, show me new chat messages. Let's get off the Xbox bit. I probably can't really request that we go to a new bit unless I supply the goods. But, I mean, I don't really have a lot right now. Xbox, show me PlayStation. Xbox, get me out of this pressure. Xbox, explain what a fuzzy is again. Fuck you. Fuzzy is a speedrunner from England who speedruns Melee ? I don't know if they still do. No, you fucking dickhead. And by fucking dickhead, I mean me, obviously. I'm not looking at someone in the game and going, you, sir, are a human of poison. I do think that for people that are playing Rematch, though, look, okay, this isn't me finally having, like, the honeymoon period end for Rematch. Not because I don't think that it's possible, but because it's my one true love, and so it would never happen. But I've come to the realization that the people playing Rematch, you only exist in, like, the moral binary. Don't say and L. I'm running a bit here. Fuck you. The people that are playing Rematch exist on a moral binary. There is either people that are pure of their soul. They're probably not at the age in which they're paying taxes, but every time you fuck up, they say, we've got this, and they only ever say it once, and so you know that they're telling the truth. And then, when they do start losing, and they think that you've truly lost the game, they just stop saying anything. Those people are pure of soul. You're seeing the light of heaven. God will shine down upon you. There are the other people who, at least the second layer of hell, every time anything happens, immediately, good job, good job, good job. It's not only is that incredibly annoying, first layer of hell, if that's all you're doing, but every single person who is spamming good job in like a very clearly sarcastic manner are also the person who is immediately, anytime anything happens, here, options, cross it, switch sides. It's insufferable. They are the greediest of people, which is the third of the 7 deadly sins. Have that be known. They are vain, or one of the deadly sins that is basically jealousy. Envy, that's the one. Envious. And they're probably more. They're probably criminals in real life. I don't know. Exard in this economy? It's true. Oh, I should have played Rematch and found some of the people that I hate. Incredible stream idea that I've just come up with. It's Rematch, but instead of the goal being win the match, your goal is to find the people who are going to heaven and those who are damned to an eternal misery in individual layers of hell. It's basically me, like, just judging people's morals based on how they play video games, but it's also, like, I'm kind of correct. Rematch bingo? Now that does sound good. Weighing the hearts of Rematch players against a feather, which is heavier. What? Dress up as the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh? I got awful news. I have no idea what this... I'm gonna guess the part of the bit is that the guy from Yu-Gi-Oh guesses or, like, determines the value of people's souls. But I haven't seen enough Yu-Gi-Oh to know what the hell you just said. Something Millennium Puzzle. They mean the bald guy from Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay. It would be a perfect fit for you. I don't know about that. Am I going to Evo? Not this Evo. Not like the Evo Vegas. Because... Well, thankfully, I get to make the, like, option select of... I'm not going to Evo because, like, oh, I want to seem morally upheld and be like, yeah, I don't want to go to Evo while it's politically so turmoil. But the reality is, I'm not going to Evo in America because I am broke. That's why we were talking about Evo France. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. Or yes, non-binary. Or, yes... What's the pronouns that are like Z, like XI or XIE? I can't remember what they're called. Non-conforming? I don't know. Anyway, Yas, Queen, Slay, etc., etc. Neo-pronoun, yeah. I thought it was a neo-pronoun. Somebody was like, neo-pronoun, what the fuck is that? And then they giggled at me. And I was like, oh, I must be wrong. Maybe they were just transphobic. You never know. You'll pay for the debt by winning Evo, trust me. The thought process of the, like, 112 people who have gone to Evo on, like, buy now, pay later for City of the Wolves. They haven't played it in 7 months. How in the fuck did that hit? I'm so mad. You need to know I am furious in real life. I can't even remember what I was so mad about. This is how you know that I have Guilty Gear poison in my skull. I got, like, skull-smashingly angry, and yet now that the situation has passed, no memory of what the fuck it was. Truly, I am poisoned, and in that poison, I am free. Why give me the antidote? I love the sickness. You will become the Tyler 1 of Exard with less rage. I think I'd much rather be the Clint Stevens of Exard. And based on my stream schedule, I think I'm probably becoming him. I have, like, spurts where I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming every single fucking day, let's go. And then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, a year. Like, let's just not stream for a year. Are Johnnies more self-aware than Fox is? Probably. The problem is, like, Guilty Gear is such a small community relative to Melee that most of the people that are still playing, like, they just don't have ignorance in their soul as to whether their character is degenerate or not, because all the characters are degenerate. They can always find something where they go like, yeah, I didn't deserve that. Especially if they played Rev 1, Johnny. Ooh. I fucked up the combo. That's really cool, Leon. Epic. Fuck me. Yippee! Send me to hell. Kill this man. Oh, he killed me. I did yippee with all of my soul. I used all of my whimsy with that yippee. Also, shout out to whoever's playing fucking Ronaldinho soccer in the lobby. We love a FIFA rematch playing, Pro Evolution soccer playing king. Now you're probably wondering, what the fuck was that? Why would you do mad struggle H backdash at round start? And to that I say, sometimes intuition doesn't come from the places of logic. Sometimes it comes from the places of vibes. You know how they, like, discovered oatmeal or whatever the fuck it was by just, like, mixing shit together in a bowl because they were poor? That's me. You ever think about how in, like, 50 years' time, there's gonna be people who are thinking to themselves, if I was just born in the year, like, 2020 or the year 2000, it would be so much easier to invent shit. Not realizing that, much like the way we now imagine that if it was like, oh, the 1800s, I would just invent shit, it was so much easier. They are also blessed with the ignorance that is the knowledge of today. Like, if you were a medieval peasant, you wouldn't have invented scissors, you know? As much as you want to believe in your heart of hearts that you would have looked at the world and gone, we're missing, like, a thing in which you can cut an object just with the tools in your hand, you wouldn't have been the one to invent it. You would have gone, damn, this sheep's wool is really hard to get off of their chest. I wish I didn't have to use my teeth, but that's all I got. So I better keep eating this damn fur. Man who doesn't understand that shears were invented pre-year 0. Yummy sheep fur. Me when I'm in Minecraft. This reminds me of those I traveled back in time and gave a caveman Coke memes. But the caveman in those memes, like, he would have died. And not like, oh, he would have died from bacteria that he's not used to in the Coke. It's like, no, like, he would have simply tasted the flavor and his mind would have been boggled. It's not too dissimilar from how, like, you're at, like, higher risk of a heart attack when being confronted with, like, news of grief, you know? Except for them, it's the immortal knowledge of what man is capable of in his furtive state. He just couldn't handle it. It's funny to look at everyday objects and realize that somebody in history invented that. I don't think you realize, AI bros, they have it right. They look at Wikipedia pages and go, must have been a really sophisticated chat GPT model that wrote this. A guy in 20 years' time who grows up with chat GPT, not realizing that, like, Android's Dream of Electric Sheep is written by, like, people, and not just, like, the newest layer of Scrimfuck 4000. Oh god, we might just end up being there. I mean, it's fucked up. You gotta realize that we're not living in the world that could potentially be transformed by AI. We're already living in it. Like, job layoffs are happening right now, and job hiring is freezing currently because of AI. It's not like, this isn't some distant future. Much like how we're all kind of fucked by, like, global warming. We're already there. Like, why could I not do this combo that I've practiced for 4 million times? It's a little bit nuts to have just said that, and then immediately get caught off guard by, missing, like, a combo in a video game. Northern Lion was right when he said that people in World War II must have occasionally just been more concerned with, like, mold on bread as opposed to the fact that, like, London is being bombed. Do all bald men have telepathy? Do you get early access to NL's shitposting? No. I do get early access to Northern Lions, but I don't get, like, early access to, like, Anthony Fantano. I can't tell you what the review score for, like, the new Kanye is gonna be, sadly. I'm not saying that you gotta stop jumping out of the combos, but you gotta stop jumping out of the combos like that. Oh my god, I'm against the wall for so long. Jesus Christ. Call me Christ himself. Strung up against the wall for his entire lifetime. What in the world? It's crazy how almost everyone is talking about Umamusume. Fuck. You know what I'm trying to say. Fucking the horse game. I've seen the horse game, and I don't know, man. I was actually interested when like, someone told me about the mechanics, but, like, the moment you say gacha, I have to kind of give up. Not because I'm inherently against, like, randomization, but I can't trust a gacha game to be reasonable in keeping the game fun for more than 10 hours. You've got it all wrong. You don't have to give up. You just have to swipe harder. Truly, the challenge is the 9 to 5 in between the game. And the only way to get better at the game is to learn how to hustle harder. If you think about it, the horse game is teaching you life skill. Peep this burst. Peep this burst. I'm saying peep this burst, and you're gonna get... No! I hit the burst at the wrong time! I wanted to get up, and then just immediately try and burst out of the fucking coin. I got the burst off of the ground bounce, whatever. I was about to type do something cool. I'll try and do something cool this round. There's an instant kill setup that I've had for, I think 7 months now that I haven't been able to do. Not because it's particularly hard, just because I'm such a greedy little goblin when it comes to meter that I never save enough to do it. I'll go for it this game. Don't you have a video specifically about not saving your meter? Yeah, I might be the teacher, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the one that's actually, like, committing with the lesson. A lot of teachers tell their like, students to not, like, smoke cigarettes, but then, like, what happens on break time? Like, believe me, the nicotine intake increases. And if that isn't the realest shit you ever did here, then, quite frankly, you weren't listening. No! I'm still winning this round. I'm still winning this round. I'm not winning this round. I'm winning the round. Get fucked. Aura gained. I think it was a little bit of an aura loss, to be honest. I feel like even worse than someone who is like a sore loser, I think a sore winner is like substantially more aura loss. Personally. Maybe that's just like me coming from a like, oh, fucking, I'm not winning kind of perspective. I don't know. I was the sore loser, and I'm like, oh, actually, sore winners, they're fucking kind of a bit weird. Am I right, guys? Me talking to my stuffed animals in my room when I'm 7. You can't call it a trauma dump if it was intended to be a joke. That's not how that works. I think it's easier to not be a bad winner. Yeah, that might be why it's worse, because it's like, brother, it's not hard to just be like, I had a good time. The segment will be titled such regardless. You know what? I respect it. No! Fuck's sake. The stream ends when I finally hit this instant kill. I understand that this stream started out as SSX. I don't care. And I said I would only play for an hour. I don't care. We keep going until we land it. We grind. We do hustle. This is like the 10x. This is me 10xing my mindset. Do you think if you applied, like, the same mentality that you have for video games to, like, making money, you would be a gajillionaire? Because I think, like, realistically speaking, obviously, like, video games are quote-unquote, like, a waste of time Something, oh, no time is wasted so long as you're enjoying it. Yeah, I fucking know. But, like, I think if I applied the same mentality that I had to making money that I did to, like, video games, I would probably have even less money. I'm kind of bitch-made when it comes to, like, my entertainment. If it doesn't work immediately, I want to put the toy away and I want a different toy. And I think that's not like a business mindset. It's more like you kind of cold call and harass people until they're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy your product just to get them out of your hair. That's practically the crypto coin pump and dump mindset. So I will make cash. Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that there's a vector for me to become a secret millionaire? If that ball was still up by the time that my 2S came out, I wouldn't be in this position. I would have won this round. But here I am now, lowly and dying, about to lose the round. Oh, to my own ineptitude more than anything. I blame the circumstances of the planet, and yet it is I, the furtive pygmy, who is to blame for my own inconveniences. I eat the jam from the jam jar of life and then complain when the jam jar of life is empty. Am I truly deserving of the fruits of my labor when I cannot even fathom the concept that my labor creates the fruit? Anyway, I'm trying to run this new, like, fake inspiration bit. I don't think it's working very well. Back to Xbox. Show me this man's personal details. Oh, Xbox, finish my combo. What the fuck? Printing out quotes that would get 17 likes on Blue Sky. I'm kind of a little bit baffled by the amount of people that have decided to go off of Blue Sky. Not because, like, that, like, I think Blue Sky is, like, a perfect haven. I also think that Blue Sky is a bit shit and boring and not very funny most of the time. But what does strike me as odd is that, like, people just go back to Twitter. And I'm like, I'm not saying how are we still here, because I'm not still there. But every time I load up Twitter, because I'm like, oh, I need it for, like, a business thing, it's like, oh, like 20 motherfuckers, me in the stutter dimension, 20 motherfuckers that all said, fuck Elon, fuck this website, I'm never going back to Twitter, immediately gave up on Blue Sky, which is fine, but then decided, no, actually, I think I like the gore photos and the constant advertising for cryptocurrency. I think I fuck with that, actually. I just have ad block and brain rot timeline. I mean, I kind of don't want brain rot timeline anymore either. I know that I said earlier that it's like, oh, I need the poison a little bit. But realistically speaking, I might need the poison, but I need the poison in a way that just isn't healthy. I'm fine with having the urge for the poison. I'm sick of taking the poison. Get me away from the algorithm timeline, put a book in my veins, because book equals smart. I know, it does. You all agree. I don't think I'm, like, book-pilled at the moment, because I think, like, books are, like, a safe haven for intelligence. I just think that, like, relative to a lot of other media, like, songs have been brought down in time because of, like, the internet mind poison. Games have been live servicified because of internet mind poison. Android's Dream of Electric Sheep is going to be Android's Dream of Electric Sheep regardless of whether or not the internet has, like, consumed my, like, foul state of being or not. Unless it's, like, on a platform that turns it into, like, TikToks, and I have to scroll through 7 tweets that are actually all advertisements in order to read the next paragraph. That would be poison at that point. They could poison Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, actually. They should. Business idea. Feeding poison to the mind of the youth. Anyone have any objections? Yeah, maybe morally it's not exactly defensible, but also the profit margins are incredible. Let's link and build a darker future. True. David, give me the poison. The poison in this circumstance is, or in this situation, is 6p. Give me the poison. Here. Oh, fuck. David, you might play the most hold-forward Axel I've ever seen in my life. And I love it, but, like, oh my god. How different is plus R to XR Axel? Much louder. That's a good observation. He do just be saying words bigger. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit a, I'm not going to be able to hit this instant kill setup against an Axel because I have to use so much meter to get through neutral. Another 11-hour stream. I don't think so. I still have to finish, writing the SSX tricky portion of the video today for, like, the first draft. So, it's definitely clearing up in at least the next, like, couple of, minutes. Chat, do you think we're going to be best friends forever? This is a trick question, don't answer it. I feel like if you answer a question like that, you're inherently, setting yourself up for failure. Because either this was all a bait, and you become sad, or it was sincere, and you realize that your, like, streamer is inherently, like, deathly parasocial in the worst ways possible. If my streamer is parasocial, that's a reason for us to be perfect together. So true. There's thousands of men that want to be Northern Lion that are thinking that right now. It's like, oh, life would be so much easier if I was just friends with Northern Lion. Friends with Northern Lion could save me. He likes all of the films that I do because the only films that I like are the ones that he's watched. And if you're going, wow, that's a bit harsh. Brother, who do you think I'm talking about right now? I too watched Kill Bill and Lady Bird recently. I watched Hausu yesterday. Or House. I guess it's just called House in English. I've got to be honest. I kind of don't fuck with it. I thought that I would, like, fuck with, like, a fun, campy, Japanese horror, and it's like, well, why is the emphasis on Japanese there? And it's like, well, because I'm a fucking weeaboo, you know. But I just kind of sat there and I was like, I need things to happen a little bit faster. I got, like, TikTok brain, bro. Show me the kills. Show me the weird shit immediately, please. I really do have a cinema Japan problem. I was incapable of watching Patterson, but the moment that you put Monster on the screen, it's like, it's Kino. It's Kino. Cinema. Goopy Goblin TikTok brain is true. I love movies, but I hate watching movies. You're very similar to just about every single man in his 20s, mid-20s though, who is still, like, talking about video games as though, like, Scrimblow Bimblow that they played in 2001 was the peak of, like, the series. When in reality, I don't know, fucking Tak and the Power of Juju was a game that was only like 4 hours long and wasn't very good. But they're just not willing to let it go. They all talk about how they love games, but they actually play no new games. There's a whole horde of people out there that are going, split fiction sounds like woke nonsense. And yet, they're still thinking that, like, Call of Duty 4 is peak storytelling. And it's like, yeah, it might be okay, but I feel like maybe it's a little bit disingenuous to sit there and say that it's the peak of storytelling when you haven't played a new game in like 4 years. Infinite new games, but no new games. The only thing I was playing in 2001 was putting shapes in the corresponding holes, and then Reggie responds, useful for generations. Truly the greatest game you could ever play. Me hitting the putting shapes in hole lab. No, you don't get it. The meta is not currently putting the right shape in the right hole. It's how many shapes can you put in the square hole? That's the meta right now. Pythagoras was gaming. I don't think Pythagoras was like, fuck, I really want to hit the sticks after this, man. After figuring out what 2 plus 2 is, fuck, man. He takes a drag of his, like, ye olde cigarette, and he just goes, fuck, I really need to figure out what can go in the square hole. Shit. You know Venom is low tier in Xrd because he has to do crouch-specific combos, but top tier in plus R because his combos work irrelevant of crouching or not. Me deciding whether or not a character is top tier or not based on whether or not they have, like, knowledge-specific situations. Don't tell me that Leon is a low-tier hero. I have fortunate news for you. I wouldn't know anything about the tier list of this game. Me, knowing that my character is top tier, I don't know anything about the tier list, actually. Please, inform me, Chad. I would love to discover more. Why is it that you have been banned? How curious. I guess we'll never know. Old man didn't even reach for your drive impact. Me, an old man? What do you mean playing this dishonest, sinful game that you call Drive Impact? Dishonest strategy, wouldn't you agree? Do you think that you see Drive Impact on the walls of heaven? No. Why would I use it? This reminds me of Sif from the hit video game Dark Souls 1. Fuck you. It wasn't Sif. Sif was only like 4 times. Don't type and L. Where's the and W? Well, I mean, I know where the and W is. It's somewhere else. But it's in a different timeline where I was playing to be good and not playing for one silly combo. Did you know? Did you, someone who is clearly pretty good at the game, were you able to pick up on my extremely predictable tendency? Impossible, I say while I push up my glasses and have my catalog of side characters go, you're my catalog of side characters, if you were curious. Yes, I do have main character syndrome, if you were curious. Yeah, I have a shade of narcissism inside of me. What about it? Yeah, my streamer is the main character. Guy who has, like, side character syndrome. Also known as someone with low self-esteem, now that I think about it, but, you know. Please pretend that I hit it. Please pretend that I hit it. I beg of you. Oh, what the fuck? Why didn't it land? I know why it didn't land. I know why it didn't land. I didn't hit the instant kill input quickly enough. It's fine. Just 8 hours to go. No. Oh. Man slowly loses his mind doing a thing he said that he would do pretty quickly. Mad struggle to symbolize his state of mind. Fire rating. That's how I feel about, like, the people that, like, glaze Dark Souls' story. It's like, the environments are really nice, but, like, I don't know. Even as someone that really, really likes Dark Souls, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just item descriptions, chill the beans. Yeah, exactly. Like, piecing it together, that's really cool. But, I don't know. It's no blueprints, you know? People talk about Dark Souls like it's fucking Disco Elysium, and it's like, no, it's good. It's not that good. What the hell? Surprisingly enough, games that are written to be read are a little bit better in terms of writing than Dark Souls. I'm starting to think, like, fuck, am I gonna have to go into training mode and hit it? Cause ooh, this is looking rough. Alright, this has to be like the last game. You need to fill the tricky meter, streamer. Guy who's like just guessing what game I'm playing and still thinks that it's SSX. Oh my god, I wasn't looking at what they were doing enough. I was too busy being lost in my own little world. Full of whimsy, some might say. Oh, fuck. Use the fucking wingsuit. No. Oh my god, I've actually got to do it in training mode. This is miserable. The lying streamer has logged on yet again. His most famous lies. I'll be streaming tomorrow. His second most famous lie. The stream doesn't end until I hit blank. And here we are, having not hit the silliest of the combos. Thank you for the games, Avery. I appreciate it. Open that main menu. Do the walk of shame that is going into training mode. Shaking my dick and balls. Stream doesn't end until someone says the secret word. The secret word is like stinger. Something really obvious. Wow, I missed it here. What the hell? I think I missed it again. I didn't miss it again. It's that. That's what I was going for. It's so simple. And yet here I am having to go into training mode to hit it. So how simple could it be? The secret word is Elden Beast. The secret word is Four Kings. Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to explode. I will simply cry. Bye-bye, everybody. Tomorrow we will be streaming... Wait, no, that would be a second lie. Sunday we might be streaming. I don't know about tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. Fuck you.